Hey everybody, it's Glidercat and it's time to play. We've got it. Dyson Sphere Program just released today. Let's jump right in. New game. I'm going to go ahead and hit randomize down here for a few times. That one, let's see. That looks kind of cool. Ooh, that one looks cool. All right, let's do this one. And we'll just hit start game and get on into it. There's going to be some narration here as the tutorial starts, so I'll try and keep down while they are talking.
Welcome to the actual universe. You may find it's different from our homeland. Should you be able to adapt to the laws of physics in a short time, I am your advisor and will help you through this mission. Everything here is yours. As one of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will explore this cluster step by step. By using the resources here to construct the Dyson Sphere to provide energy for the center brain to maintain homeland, starting from scratch. I have chosen a designated planet for you to start the mission, which has necessary resources for initial development. Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
All right, we're pretty much on autopilot here. I can steer, but it's just going to take me back to this initial planet. And depending on the map seed you choose, you're going to get a different starting planet, but I think it's going to look a heck of a lot like this one. So here we go. We've got
now
lots of...
you are about to reach the designated planet.
All right, we'll be coming in for landing here shortly. We're going to do it SpaceX style. Flip up. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. I see some iron ore right in front of us. That's going to be handy. But we'll listen to the tutorial text, and I'll try to keep down while that's going.
This is Icarus, a lightweight industrial mecha with powerful functionality. You can use the arrow keys or right-click on the destination to control its movement. In this mission, you will manipulate Icarus to travel beyond the stars and create miracles. Now try to recycle the space capsule. Right-click on it to recycle.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go ahead and right-click. And there our mecha is tearing it apart.
You can use the same operation to collect resources, such as trees, gravel, etc. In the meantime, hold down Shift and right-click to give a series of commands. You receive several items after recycling the space capsule. Click the inventory button in the lower right corner of the screen to open the cabin to view them.
So here we go. Let's see what we got. We've got some hydrogen fuel rods. Looks like we got 5 of those. It says with further development of cryotechnology, we can liquefy hydrogen to make fuel rods with higher energy. The higher energy of the fuel rod, the more increase of the mecha fuel power. It shows these guys have 40 megajoules.
You can hold down mouse middle button drag to rotate the angle of view, or slide the mouse wheel to zoom in and out.
All right, so they're just giving us our basic instructions here. Whip through this real quick. Pretty standard stuff. So let's take another quick look at the inventory, and we'll see if the narrator cuts in again. We got 10 iron ingots. Looks like we got 10 magnet.
Yet you have not unlocked the construction menu, which will be done automatically when complete any technology research. Click the Technology Tree button at the bottom right of the screen to open the Technology Tree and activate a research.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Just waiting for the narrator to speak. Looks like he's going to be quiet for a second. So let's go. Here's the tech tree. There's 2 of them, right? So here, this one labeled Technologies is for all of the industry. And I can just kind of click and drag here. not bad. Looks pretty cool to me. Lots of tech to research. And then if we drill in here, you can see there's kind of a thread going through the tech tree that shows what the main quest items are. So we'll be pursuing that for sure, along with just about every other square you see on the screen, because I'm hoping we can get through that entire tech tree. The other one, if I up here at the top left, if I click on upgrades, this is for the mech itself, for the mecha itself, and this is ways to upgrade the capacity of the mecha. So we can look at a couple of these things. Here's a mecha core. When it's currently unlocked, and once you research this, you'll get 40 extra megajoules of maximum core energy. It says improve the mecha core and increase the upper limit of mecha core energy. And then there's just a whole bunch of things in here. And we will get a chance to look at all of these. Here's one for the inventory capacity. And then each of these researches, it shows you what it's going to take. In this case, it's circuit boards, 120 and 120 steel beams here. So very cool. Multiple levels. Look at inventory. We've got 6 levels of upgrade just for the inventory, 8 levels for the frame. So we'll get to all that. Let's go back to the technologies, and we will select, I think, the only one that we really can. Like if I back out of this, you'll see there's only one that's kind of highlighted. The rest are all kind of dark here. So we'll go ahead and activate this. It's going to take 10 magnetic coils, and I know how to produce those, so we'll do that. While we're at it, let's go ahead and research an item for our mecha as well. And I'm going to pick the mecha core here and just get that started, just because these are easy resources to harvest. So we'll get that up there. And if we look at the top left, you'll see there's 2 items queued up for research. And now we just need to go harvest the materials. So I'm going to go ahead and escape out of this. And now I'm going to read through these tutorials. If you don't want to hear me read it, just go ahead and hit the mute button and read it yourself. Or if you don't want to see this at all, just go ahead and skip ahead in the video. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But there's some people who don't have the game yet, and they may want to see this just so they can enjoy the rest of the content. So I'm just going to read through these real quick. And again, yeah, feel free to skip ahead if this is something you're not interested in. I totally understand. All right, background. In the future, human beings enter the ranks of advanced civilizations, and the power of science and technology brings rapid development. People use virtual reality to iterate space and time, create a virtual universe much larger than the real world, and gradually transfer human consciousness to the virtual universe. The operation of the virtual world requires supercomputing power. For this reason, human beings circle the sun and create a supercomputer, the center brain, hoping to use its powerful computing power to expand the virtual home. The computing power of the center brain gradually reaches its limit because the number of consciousnesses continues to grow. If you want to accommodate more consciousness, it needs more energy supply. So the Cosmo, C-O-S-M-O, launched an engineering project code named Dyson Sphere Program, sending engineers to the real world to build the Dyson Sphere to provide continuous and stable energy for the center brain. As a member of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will control the mecha on an unknown journey by using the terminal. You need to gather resources, plan and design production lines, gradually realize full automation starting from scratch, and transform your factory from a small workshop developing into a magnificent intergalactic industrial empire, and finally build a great miracle, the Dyson Sphere. Builders of great civilizations. In this process, you are bound to encounter many difficulties. After all, the universe is so large that anything can happen. However, your creativity and imagination will help you accomplish this great goal. The entire cluster will become the cornerstone of human civilization under your plan. Very cool. Let's see here. What is a Dyson Sphere? As civilization continues to develop, the demand for energy will continue to increase in the vast universe. Develop the star's energy becomes an inevitable choice for civilization's development when the energy on the planet can no longer sustain. So a little choppy translation here, but not too bad. I think we kind of get the meaning here. In 1960, Mr. Freeman Dyson put forward a legendary concept, the Dyson Sphere theory. Dyson Sphere is an imaginary space giant that can surround the entire star and obtain most or all of its energy output. According to the classification of Kardashev, civilization level, first-class civilizations can develop and utilize all the resources of the planet on which it inhabits. Secondary civilizations can collect the energy of the entire star system and even allow matter to break the speed limit of light. And third-level civilizations can master and use all the energy of the entire galaxy. Possessing the ability to build a Dyson sphere indicates that humanity will move towards the secondary civilization. So maybe in a subsequent game, we'll get a chance to use all the energy of the entire galaxy. But for now, we're just going for level 2 here, where we can leverage the energy of an entire star system. So that's the road we're on here. Let's look at a couple of these things. Last 2 little tutorials here. Gather resource command. You can use the right mouse button to click ground target to command the mecha there. If the target is a resource, you can order the mecha to gather. And then it's just saying we can hold the shift key down and then click the right mouse button on multiple resources, and that will queue up orders for your mecha to do the harvesting. We'll see that. We'll see plenty of that. And then the basic operation guide. We kind of saw some of this already. We're just using the mouse keys or the WASD to move around and then scrolling with the mouse and such. Pretty straightforward. It does talk about a couple things here it's worth mentioning. After unlocking the drive engine level 1, you obtain flying ability. Double-click the space key to lift off, then use WSAD to control the mecha at low altitude, and then the moving speed will increase by 150% with more energy consumed under the flight mode. During the flight, press space key to increase the flight altitude. Press the Alt key to decrease the flight altitude or return the mecha to the ground during flight. After unlocking the drive engine level 2, you obtain the sailing ability. Keep pressing the forward key and space key in the flight mode, and you will enter the sailing mode when you reach a certain altitude. So I believe that's for like interplanetary travel. We'll likely get to that. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure we will get to that in this Let's Play series. Now let's go ahead and see about producing this, what we need for this research. And it looks like we need 10 magnetic coils. If I go down here and I click F, this is the crafting menu here down at the bottom right. I'll go ahead and click that. I'll look at the coils here. I see that we need 10, so I'll set production to 10, and I'm just going to click produce. And then we'll see if we have the resources to do that. It looks like each one requires 2 magnetic units and a copper ingot. And they gave us some in the beginning, so I think we're going to be okay. And we'll get this research done. Boom. Nice. Okay, I think he's going to start chiming in with tutorial stuff. It says you've unlocked a new automatic mining machine, which will automatically collect ores for you. Of course, its capacity is limited. You may wish to transport these minerals to the smelting facility automatically. Okay, so we're going to do some research that's going to allow us to do that as well. But so far now we've got this mining machine. Let's go ahead and click OK here. I think that here
You
we
have
go.
created a mining machine to achieve ore collecting automation. Pick it up from the inventory, or select it on Gathering of Construction menu to build it.
All right, so we've got it in our inventory. I'm going to go ahead and click it. Now we can place this.
You can use the R key to rotate the mining machine for covering more veins. The more veins covered, the faster the ores will be gathered. If you want to ignore grid snapping, try holding down the Shift key.
All right, for now I don't mind the grid snapping, so I'm just going to leave that there. And this little nugget of ore is kind of in a bad spot. Let's see. I don't want to leave one just sitting off to the side there, but it looks like I'm going to be stuck doing that. All right. Let's go ahead and... That's going to drive me crazy. All right, let's see. We're going to place this guy down. Let's see what we can get. I can get... Oh, that's... No, I can't place it there. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about here. I don't want to leave one of these little straggler ore things, so I just have one going. Let's just pop it down here for now. It's not super optimal, but we've got 3 ore veins in its range. That will kind of help catch that straggler. It assembles pretty much instantaneously once you place it. And let's see, the tutorial's going to chime in here, I think. You can see it doesn't have power. This little power icon is blinking. We'll solve that next. Let's go ahead and click on this tutorial. I'm going to read through this real quick. Building mining machine and veins coverage. The mining machine can automatically gather ores. Use the R key to rotate it so that its fan-shaped area covers the veins, rotating 90 degrees each time. Press and hold the shift key to ignore the snapping to the grid functionality. At this time, you can more finely adjust the position and rotation of the mining machine to cover more veins. So the more veins covered by the mining machine, the gathering speed is faster. Each covered vein provides a basic capacity of 30 units per minute. The consumption rate of each vein is consistent because the mining machine consumes the covered veins in turn. When one of the covered veins is exhausted, the production capacity of the mining machine will decrease. Veins coverage is not the more the better. In many cases, it's necessary to determine the number of veins covered according to the balance of output and consumption. So this is saying that if you want to balance your production and have the mining machine produce less or more, then you're going to pay attention to how many veins you cover in its range. For now, I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to just cover the maximum, and if you have too much, you have too much. But we'll see as we go if that's a concern or not. And it says a single vein can be covered by multiple mining machines. The more mining machines covering it, the consumption rate is faster. That's pretty straightforward. And then it just mentions by continuously upgrading the mineral utilization technology in the tech tree upgrade section, you can increase the mining speed of mining machines and reduce the loss of veins caused by mining operations. Okay, so that last little phrase there is kind of important. It says you can increase the mining speed of mining machines and reduce the loss of veins caused by mining operations. So we're going to see in the research tree that at low tech levels, the mining machine is going to waste some of this ore as it processes it. But as we upgrade it in the tech tree, it's going to get more efficient at mining all of the ore and not waste as much. And again, we'll see that pretty soon. Right now, we need to power this guy. Let's look in our crafting menu and see if there's something to craft. If I look at my inventory, it looks like they already gave us a wind turbine and a Tesla tower, which is basically a power pole. So let's just use the existing wind turbine we got. I'll close the replicator, grab the wind turbine, and I'm going to place it so that the that little area of effect circle there is in range of the wind turbine, in range of the mining machine. So I'll just drop this guy here. Again, everything seems to assemble
Wind
instantaneously.
turbine. You have established your first power grid. Not all power facilities has its power supply area. Use the Tesla tower to extend the area of the power grid.
All right. So just escape out of that. So now if we go to the mining machine, we can see it's collecting the iron ore. And I can just double click on this to harvest it. Boom. And now, let's see. Our research shows that we need 15 iron ingots and 15 copper ingots. We're mining the iron right now, so we're off to a good start there. I'm going to jump into my craft menu and see if I can't... And I'm going to components here. There's 2 tabs. I'm going to pick iron ingots, and I'm just going to grab 10 more of these. So I'll set production at 10, click it once, and we'll start producing those iron ingots. And now we need copper ingots. We don't have any copper ore on us, so we need to go find copper. And we've already spent all of our existing copper ingots. So let's go look. While this is mining, I'll empty this guy out. He only stores 50 units. So let's go see if we can find some copper. Now our mecha, another thing we need to consider here is I'm going to click on this C key or the mecha panel. You'll see it says lack of fuel on our mecha. And it looks like I'm not sure if this is saying he can generate 80 kilowatts of power on his own, but right now we have no fuel, and I know that I can use these trees as actual fuel. So I'm just going to shift and right click on a bunch of these trees. I'm sorry, shift and let's see. Yeah, shift and right click and queue up a bunch of resource collection. We can get these bushes and these trees. And now my mecha is just going to process these in order that I'm clicking them. And I can see off to the right, we've got some copper ore here, which is perfect because that's what we're going to need. So I'll let him collect these trees. You can see in our inventory, the wood is going up and this plant fuel is also going up. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a second. Let him just get these last few trees. All right. Now if I go back to our mecha panel, I drag some of this wood over into the fuel chamber. Boom, boom. Now it's showing it's got 148 megajoules of power available. And right now I'm not moving or doing anything, and he's consuming power. And I believe what's happening here is he is charging up his internal core capacitance. So right now we're burning fuel, even though we're not doing anything. And that's because I believe the mecha is recharging. So I'm just going to drag this plant material and these logs into the fuel chamber and let this guy charge up. Okay, and now it's stopped, so he's fully charged up. And now you'll see if I move at all, move the mecha, he is consuming power no matter what I do. So eventually we're probably going to need more efficient power sources than just this wood and plant material. But we will discover that as we go. Let's see, power grid establishment guide. Let's see, did we look at this? Let's go ahead and read through this real quick. Power grid establishment guide. For production facilities to work, they need to connect to the grid, and there must be power generation facilities in the grid to provide electricity. There are power generation facilities, power consumption facilities, power storage facilities, and power transmission facilities in the power grid. If the power generation of the power grid is greater than the consumption, the power consumption facilities will run at full load, and the accumulators will store the surplus electrical energy with a certain power. So that's the accumulators are like batteries. If the power generation of the power grid is less than the power consumption, the accumulators will firstly discharge with a certain power to fill the power gap. If still not enough to fill the power gap after all the accumulators automatically discharging at the maximum power, the power consumption facilities will slow down work speed due to insufficient power. So that's just saying if you're not generating enough power, you're going to revert to battery power. And then if your batteries don't provide enough power, your factories are going to start to slow down. Then it's saying once the satisfaction of power grid is less than 10%, the power grid will trip. And at the same time, the production facilities will stop working. So that's, up to 10%, your factories are still going to run. They're going to run slow. But once you get below 10%, then everything's just going to stop to a halt. Okay, in the early stage, you can use wind turbines to generate electricity. Wind turbines use wind power to generate electricity, do not need to consume fuels. It is a very practical power generation facility for early development. Besides, different planets have different wind energy ratio. So we'll see what that's all about. It'd be interesting to see if there's some planets where we can't use the turbines at all. Wind turbines come with a power supply area, but this is very small. If you want to expand the power grid supply range, you need to use the Tesla tower to transmit and supply power. And those Tesla towers are just power poles, that we're familiar with in other games like this. Different power transmission facilities have different connection lengths and supply areas. You can unlock more advanced power transmission facilities by upgrading the technology. So that's all about the tech tree again. There's probably several levels to upgrade the range of these Tesla towers and things. Power generation facilities that require fuels will consume the fuels based on the actual consumption of power. So that's kind of important. So this is just saying that if you've got, say, some kind of power generation machine that burns wood for power, it's only going to burn the wood as you're actually using the power. It's not just going to keep burning it and waste energy. You can view the current power grid information and adjust it at any time based on the consumption demand by clicking the Tesla tower. You can always display the power network when you turn on the power network in the detail display. So let me show you what that is. The detailed display, let's see, was that? Oh, what key was that? No, I'm forgetting what key that was. Let's see here. There is a set of overlays. Oh no, now I'm going to get lost. All right. Well, we'll come back to that. Let's see if I can. Details display H. Here it is. So if you hit the H key, you'll get this little tab that shows up with overlays. And let's see, if I go ahead and head over towards our iron mine here, and I click on the power overlay, it's just going to show you basically the power grid. And so if we had more Tesla towers and other things going, a bigger grid, you'd have more to see here, but right now there's not much. And then if we look next to that, there is a veins distribution grid, but we can't turn that one on and off yet until we research universe exploration level 1. So I guess we'll see that later. We have a space navigation overlay. That one doesn't do anything in this view, but we do have it enabled. We'll see that later, maybe when we head up into space. This is just a toggle for those building warnings. We saw one of them when we first dropped our miner down. It didn't have power, and we saw a little warning flashing. And then we've got the building icons. So if I come down here, we can see on our miner, there's a little icon representing iron. If I don't want to see those, I can just click this guy and turn those off. All right, so let's get back to work in our factory. We need copper. We wanted to complete this research. We know we need 15 ingots. I'm just going to right click one time, and my mecha is just going to continuously mine this copper. Again, he's burning energy while he does this. And this little ring here may be no, that's our progress on the research, I believe. This little highlighted area around the research. So while he is mining, I'm going to go ahead and craft 15 of these ingots if I can. So I'll just set this to 5 and I'll click it 3 times. And so we can craft while we're doing the mining. So that's all pretty cool. And we look at the top left, we'll see the research is ticking away. And soon we will have that completed. And there we go. Let's see. Oh, it's going to tick through these one at a time. Just going to let my mecha keep mining here. I'm probably burning through power. Let's take a look. Ah, he's got plenty. All right, I'll move his mecha off. Let's see what it says here. Plus 40 megajoule max core energy. So we can see our core capacitance. This was 100, now it's 140. And as I sit still here, our mecha is recharging because now he's got more capacity for power storage. So there he goes, burning through some of our existing fuel and adding it to his internal battery. Very nice, very nice. Let's see if we can't get a copper mine down here. I'm going to go back to the crafting menu and I'll pick the buildings and mining machine. And I'm just going to go ahead and click produce and let's see if we have enough materials on us to do it. Click this once and I can see, similar to Factorio, all the components that make up that building get queued up in the replicator. And it looks like we probably do have enough resource to make all this. So we'll just wait for that to finish. Boom. We're going to need another wind turbine most likely. Let's go ahead and craft one of those up. While that's crafting, let's go ahead and place our mining machine. I'll rotate this around. That looks pretty good. We got six veins there. I'm just going to click it once to build it. Instantaneously builds. I think it would be cool if that was a little bit slower and had a little bit better animation, but maybe that'll be coming. And now we need to put some power down. If I wanted to, I could run power poles or Tesla towers, as they call them in game here. all the way from that other wind turbine to this mining machine, but I'm just going to put down another power pole. Let's see here. Now we've got a hot bar. I haven't played with this too much. Let's go ahead and click it. And I think I can just drop down our wind turbine from here. Boom. There we go. All right, so we've got copper being mined and we've got iron being mined. We're going to need to pick some new research, and early game we're going to be kind of doing some manual shuffling around here to collect resources, but very soon we're going to research the belts and the storage units so that we can begin with some real automation. But for now, I think I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you enjoyed this very first episode of our Let's Play series. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. That helps me grow the channel. I definitely appreciate that. And for now, this is Glidercat signing off, saying thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.